Hey, what's up, y'all? Dr. Chris here again with LeBauer Physical Therapy. I had a patient come in earlier this week and we got to chatting and he asked me this question and he said, "Is deadlifting bad for you?" And I asked, "Well, why do you ask that question?" And he said, "Well, I went to my general practitioner doctor several years ago or a while back. And that person said, 'Oh my goodness, deadlifting's horrible. There's no reason why anyone should be deadlifting. Don't do it.'" My response to that was, "That's complete bullshit." Okay. And this applies to, because I get this question about other activities, deadlifting, squatting, running, that sort of thing. These are general kind of categories or general patterns of movements. Deadlifting in particular is a hinge pattern movement. And these are fundamental human movements that we need to be able to do. We may not need to be able to deadlift 600 pounds, but we need to be able to effectively hinge in order to efficiently get through and accomplish tasks throughout our day. Same thing with squatting. And the same thing with running. These are things that we as human beings do. So to sit here and kind of cast a negative light on a general pattern of movement, I think is the wrong move. Don't get me wrong, I can see where a medical professional can get that idea with all the greatest of intentions. They're seeing people come in and, "Oh man, hey doc, I got this back pain." "Well, tell me what you were doing." "Well, I was working out the gym." "What were you doing?" "I was doing this and I was doing some deadlifting and I had some back pain." And what's kind of the classic stereotypical medical doctor joke? "Hey doc, it hurts when I do this." And what does the doctor say? "Well, then don't do that." I feel like that's what happens with the best intentions of trying to help people. They are medical doctors. Their specialty is medicine. Why not take that advice from somebody who is more of an expert in exercise, human movement, injury rehab? Doesn't that make more sense? You have these people who are just seeing it from their perspective, and then they're just so passionately saying that. And we kind of put them up on this pedestal and take that word as the gospel, when actuality, you go see a movement specialist or an expert such as myself, and then you might say, "Well, I can see how that's problematic for you, but I can also see how we're going to fix that." Case in point, with this gentleman, did some assessing, and it looks like he had some instability in his lumbar hip pelvic complex, which caused him to round his back. And this is while he's unloaded. So I can see, if you start loading that up with weight, how that's going to create some back issues. One, I made him aware of his issue, and then I gave him a drill of how to fix it. And you should have seen, it was almost like a light bulb just kind of went off. Like all of a sudden, like, wow, there's all of these opportunities that have been opened up. Not all exercises are created equal. The right exercise can be part of the solution. However, the wrong exercise can be part of the problem. And what you need to do is go to an expert in those exercises, someone who is an expert in human movement, and get a customized assessment of how you move, how you function, and what your limitations are as a person. And that's what a physical therapist does. That's what we do. That's what we do with our total body diagnostic, because it may be that you have limitations in your hip mobility. Well, we need to address that. You have limitations in your ankle stability. Well, we need to factor that into these exercises. No wonder you have a hard time lunging. We can identify that and then come up with your custom plan to address it. Well, then all of a sudden, this is something that's on the table for you. The real question is, why is it not working for you? And if you really want the answer to that question, my suggestion is that you go get a total body diagnostic. If you're in the Greensboro area, check us out, get assessed, find out why this isn't working for you. Then we can come up with a solution. It may be you need some drills or you need some modifications while we address the limitations, and then we can smartly put that back on the table for you. I just hate to hear things like that, because I feel like it contributes to people in a functional aspect living a smaller and smaller life, when really they could have had a conversation and an experience where they get some modification, get some awareness, and all of a sudden there's an activity that they can do that keeps them going longer, stronger, and more capable. I hope that answers or addresses that question as far as, is this exercise bad for me? Is that exercise good for me? It really depends. You need to get a customized assessment to figure out what works best for you. That's my rant. Hope that answers some questions. If you have questions, feel free to let me know. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and we'll see you on the next video. Until then, Dr. Chris with LeBauer Physical Therapy. Keep moving, y'all.